What's up, guys? You already know where we're at. It's JOfuasia Media. And today we have a special guest here in our studios. And he is a big time lawyer and particularly specializing in intellectual property. Guys, we have David Katee in the building. And if you don't already know, I am Jane Pondo, your host with the most. And co-host of the day is none other than Steve Oburu Ogechi.
Yo,
But if he wants to tell you a little bit more about himself, we'll let him do that.
Like you came through with the wordings and the namings, and I'm like, okay, so normally
Perfect.
I never get my word said like that on my names, but hey, that's a swagged up mention. Yo, Stephen Ogechi in the building, representing for JOfuasia Media. And of course, we have our visitor here today, Devi. Karibu, bro.
Asante sana.
Karibu
Thank you
sana,
very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so unajua Jen amebonga David Katee. Okay, Devi. Hebu sema hiyo jina. Maybe Jen aliweng sana.
So my name is David Katee. Yes.
You guys heard that little swag in the end?
Yes. And then it comes in, of course, with it comes in with some title. Yeah. So let's get it on, bro. Let's get it on. Yeah.
So I'm an advocate of the High Court. I'm a commissioner for oaths. I'm a patent agent. I'm doing all these things basically in intellectual property, and I've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
So I've worked with quite a number of record labels that I've helped set up.
Yeah.
And also a number of artists, some you know, some you don't. A bit of production houses, digital distribution platforms. These are all the kind of people I've worked with. I won't mention them because they haven't paid for advertising.
No free
And that's
promos.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure guys were tuning in or wondering what is intellectual property for somebody who's never heard of this word? What would you say it means?
So just from the definition of it, intellectual property is property that is developed from your mind. It was what you sit down and create, sit down and compose, sit down and originate from your mind and not from anyone else's idea. And this includes music, where you sit down, write the lyrics, or you sit down as a producer, compose the beat, or a book. You can decide to write a story so long as it is original. And also you can, even for architecture, the designs they make are copyrighted under intellectual property so that
Right.
nobody else uses them.
Well, so I'm also a fashion designer.
Yes.
Would I be able to use
Absolutely.
intellectual property,
Absolutely.
copyright my designs or trademark it?
Yes, you would be able to do all that.
Okay.
I'm a one-stop shop, and you can always come and you can be able to assist you, protect your craft.
Cool.
Yes.
I
Interesting.
mean, like, I've worked with David before. Like, obviously, we come from way back. Like, I've known this guy for like 5 years now. And apart from just me talking business to him and everything, I've also seen how committed he is on helping artists out here. I really didn't know that even lawyers, with all the drawings, architects, with all the drawings that they do, can also be copyrighted. Because I have some couple of friends, and I'm sure they'll be watching this show. Speaking of copywriting, for somebody who maybe does not know, what really is copywriting?
Okay.
Maybe if you just spoke out to, let's say, an upcoming guy from, some parts of this country or some parts of Africa, and they just thought that I would work in a studio, do music, go out there, sell, or any other thing, designers, artists, and, expound copyright.
Okay. So copyright is basically out of literary works. Things you write like books, novels, drawings, all these things, software. So as I said from the word go, the idea has to be original.
Yeah.
But for you to satisfy copyright and say you have a copyright on something,
Yeah.
the idea has to be original and it has to be stored in tangible forms. So if you have an idea of a story in your head, put it in a manuscript.
Yeah.
And the manuscript is what you take to the publisher for them to come up with a book.
Yes.
So it means your idea is original in tangible form. If it is music, it's the recording on maybe your CD, cassette, for those of us who were
Yes, of
born
course,
in the 80s.
Of course,
Okay.
of course. But do we
Yeah,
say?
we can relate. Yeah, so it's basically that. So for copyrights, you do not need to register them for you to be able to enforce them. If you satisfy these two conditions, the original idea stored in tangible form,
Yes.
you already have copyrights.
Yes.
But due to the disputes we've been having lately, and people are suing each other, who came first with what, is when the Kenya Copyrights Board here in Kenya decided to come up with a national rights registry where you can upload your content, which, be it a book, be it a software, be it music, be it an architectural design, and then they can be able to issue you the certificate upon payment of a fee. And then they maintain a database of all the recorded copyrightable works. Yes.
Great. I mean, I don't know, Jane. There's this. What's the name of this show? Empire.
Yeah.
For those guys who've watched Empire, there is this lawyer who walks, back to back with Lucius Lyon.
Right.
I was like, okay, so basically, if JOfuasia is gonna be this heavy, and Dr. Jones needs some brains behind him, we're gonna get David, cause really. But now, did you see the lawyer? What he was doing for Lucius? He went from legal to illegal.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what would you take? What would you take on an incident like I've done my music, before it is released, somebody else has gotten this idea. If I'm supposed to push for a legal suit, let me ask you, what are the channels that I'm supposed to take to get maybe a file opened in court? Like, this is mine, it's been stolen by him, and this is what I have. What is the registration procedure that I have to go through to get to an intellectual property lawyer like David here?
Okay. And now, getting a lawyer is easy. You can get any lawyer. But for you to get a lawyer who specializes, it's very important because you need someone who has knowledge in your area of expertise. So for an intellectual property lawyer like me, you'd need first to reach out either through, we have social media, we have LinkedIn, we have addresses, physical addresses, emails and all that. So you would write or reach out and discuss and say what your issue is.
Yes.
Then you'll be required to open a file first because all the client documents go into a file. So if I do a legal opinion for you, it will go into a file.
Yes.
If I do a demand letter to someone, it will go into your file.
Yes.
So different lawyers charge differently, and rates go depending on how long you've practiced, who you've represented, and all sort manner of things. Some even end up becoming socialites and also lawyers at the same time so that they can be able to have higher rates, which is very sad, in my opinion. So that's the thing. So first thing you do is come to a lawyer, have the lawyer listen to you, pay consultation fee. Once they consult with you, they tell you what you need to do. Then they tell you the next course of action. For any suit to be instituted, because now this will fall under civil and also criminal. Copyright infringement falls under both.
Okay.
And in the civil side is when someone has used your intellectual property to generate income for themselves.
Yes.
Criminal side is when people are in a house somewhere duplicating your works for sale. That is where the police will be involved to come and break in and be able to, take all this material and be able to dispose. And there's also a fine when the guy is found guilty. They will be required to pay.
Yes.
So once a demand letter has been done, you give them a number of days. The person who has infringed on your works, it might be 3 days, might be 7, depending on what they did. And then after that, some respond positively. They agree to meet and discuss and settle. That is what we call quantum in law. You discuss how much, based on the damage you can assess, has been done to you. And then if they don't do that, if they don't approach you to settle, is when now you have to look for money to go to court.
Right.
Yes.
And so in this day and age of people just being able to download music from all these different websites and apps and stuff, I guess intellectual property is supposed to help protect an artist and the creator from their work and help monetize their work. So how do you know, as an artist, how do you stop people from downloading your music? Is there a way for that? Or if I download, like, say, music from Compact Records and start playing it in my events or in my tattoo, how do I know, like, if I've crossed a legal line or not and things like that?
Okay. First of all, copyright comes as a bundle of rights. It's not just one right. The person who holds the copyright to some creative piece of work controls how the work is broadcasted, communicated, distributed, licensed, sold, they control all these rights. So for anyone else to be able to have this person's creative work on their platform, they need to get a license from him. And that is why before you join a music distribution platform, I won't mention names again, you are given a license which you sign with them. They either give you an advance to have your content on their platform, or they just take your music and put on the platform and pay you royalties either quarterly or biannually or annually based on your arrangement. So for anyone to sell your music, they need to have a license. For anyone to broadcast your music, they need to have a license. But now here's the thing. There's some of the rights under copyright which an artist cannot be able to administer by themselves because they engage a number of players that you have no control over. For example, a TV station, a radio station, or a campaign that is happening. And that is why the collective management organizations are established under the Copyrights Act. This include in Kenya, this is CAMP, PRISC, and MCSK. So once you sign into these CMOs, they collect on your behalf because you cannot go to every TV station collecting your royalties, go to every matatu that is playing your song.
Right.
So once they are licensed, once you're a member of these CMOs, they license the users of your music.
Yeah.
So for example, in matatus, you've seen stickers on the windscreen.
Yes.
For hotels, you've seen the licenses on the wall. And this is how they collect for you. So they collect on your behalf. But now the saddest bit is that in Kenya, they do what we call equitable distribution. Meaning that they take the total collections, then distribute equally among the members. Which is sad because there are artists who do better than others. So what we need is scientific distribution of the same so that those who do more get more.
And that's basically a message to all CMOs we have in this country. So it begs me another question. What you're clearly saying is for you to practice intellectual property, you have to be taking it, you must have taken it as a specialty in law. It's just not any lawyer who's gonna come in and advise you on intellectual property. That's what you're putting clear to our viewers, right?
Yeah.
So another thing I would also like to, we've had a lot of stories out here. And again, I don't know if my guys are gonna translate this because at times, me and Devi, like Jane, I don't know, si uchapa Kiswahili saa zingine tunarusha lugha ya mtaa.
Don't worry, we're going to put subtitles, right?
And again, one thing I like about Devi is, Devi is quite an humble guy. Like, he's been through my cases over and over again. He's been like my actual advisor for intellectual property. And that's why you see when I call Devi, bro, I'm in this trouble. What do you think we can do? Is like, no, come on, man, you take it easy. That is something that really does not make my attention.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe I look like I take care of trouble that comes my way.
You worry too much.
I worry too much, right?
Yes.
So during our campaigns, I mean, I'm not trying to infringe on any copyrights while I'm saying this because a presenter will only be guided. And of course, as your host today, of course, with the host with the most, the beautiful Miss Jane, we had an issue here with one of our leading bands in Kenya, Africa to be precise. They had an issue with one arm of a campaign team. I don't know how to put it, but
is it the Sauti Soul and Raila Odinga story? I was like, I didn't understand that very well. I didn't. Yeah.
And I mean, I also didn't understand it, but since David has spoken about, the copyright infringement and the licensing and everything, of course, I do understand a little bit of this because I've been in the business for quite a while. And of course, everything goes down clear. David was like there during the, conception and inception of Compact Records. He's worked with us step by step. David, history ya Sauti Sol na Raila Odinga, tulinatuma barua zina fly left, right, center, sijui nini, alafu wasee waka unfollow Sauti Sol, sijui wanachoka, wanachachishia baba. What can you, what give us your 2 cents on that incident?
Okay. I've also sent letters to people who've infringed on artist content.
Of course, I've come telling David, bro, this needs to go. David's like, before 7 days.
Yeah, so there's been so much of these incidences. One of them was also Wakadinali and that influencer and KCB. There's also Nonini and Cynics Electronics and the same influencer. So all these cases have been in the public domain.
Yes.
And you remember me telling you that copyrights come with a bundle of rights.
Yes.
One of the rights is called the right to synchronize. So synchronization, just from the word, the same way you sync your contacts on phone with your email or with some other platform.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. When you synchronize my song,
Yes.
my music,
Yes.
with your audio visuals.
Yes.
So there's a video of something else, but it's me in the background. It's like
Yes.
soundtrack in movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for them to have soundtracks that are by famous artists, they have to sign a synchronization license.
Okay.
So this is a license that allows you. Remember, I said whoever owns the copyrights determines how their content will be used. If I do not want it used by anyone, I just want this music to be mine.
Yeah.
No one else should touch it.
Yeah.
But the mere fact that it's out there and you really feel that it should be in your movie or in your advertising content,
Right.
you need to reach out to me. Tell me I want to use your song, because a lot of input is given when it comes to creating this works. You pay for studio time, you write,
Yes.
you have to do takes, you have to do mastering, you have to record the video, you have to do marketing and promotion. You get.
Right.
So this artist has spent a lot of money to bring this song to the public domain, but you want to use this song for free, and that is what we can't accept. So synchronization is whereby you'll be able to you get the license to synchronize your audiovisual works. Either it's your own video advertising something or your own video dancing on TikTok or on any other platform. You get permission from the original owner of this content for you to use it. You'd ask me, and how comes you use it for free on TikTok?
Yeah.
Or for
And
free on any
Instagram.
other platform?
Yeah.
Yes. It's because now it is the platform that pays the artist. It is not you.
Okay.
And also, if you realize, if you have a corporate account on these platforms, you won't be able to play.
I noticed that, because
Yes.
I have my personal Instagram
Yes.
account,
Yes.
and like whenever I'm playing, I'm uploading a story or a
Yes.
video or a reel,
Yeah.
I have access to all these songs, Burna Boy,
Yes.
like
Yes.
you name it.
Yes. But
But
when you go
on
to a
the business
or
account,
corporate
and
account,
I'm trying to
you
like a
can't
simple
access.
song, I can't even
Yes,
find Jay-Z.
you can't access.
I can't find any Rihanna. My
And
goodness.
as soon as you find them and put them on,
Yeah.
they will be pulled down. The
Yeah.
system
That's
identifies
crazy.
copyrighted works
Yeah.
because once this platform allows you to use this music that is copyrighted, you will be putting, as a person advancing copyright infringement, the platform will be sued jointly together with you. So
Okay.
for them avoiding being sued, they pull down. Remember when we used to have the virtual DJs not virtual DJs, the DJs who were doing lives during lockdown?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
VJs.
And most of them couldn't even do it for more than 10 minutes. It's because the more popular the song you play,
Yes.
maybe Dua Lipa, a song that has a billion views,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
and a song that has 300 views won't get the same attention.
Yes.
But as soon as you switch to an international song and is well protected, and this guy is on all platforms, you'll be pulled down. So that is what used to happen. So they used to either it was called clearance. You get clearance from all these artists. You tell, for example, you decide today, I'm going to do a Nonini versus Red Sun
Right.
Yeah.
playlist. So you call them and tell them, today I'll do a live between. I'll pitching the two of you so that you can maybe have a throwback with my viewers. What we'll do is I'll put an M-Pesa number. And when people send money, we will split the money on this percentage so that you guys also get something because I'm using your
Okay.
content.
Yes, yes.
So that is what we advise guys to do
that's
so
pretty
that they do not just collect the money for themselves playing other person's. Because DJs don't come up with original works. And if they do,
Right.
they come with them without
Yes.
clearance from the owners.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
And that's the
It
thing.
just also goes to show how the world has become a global village with globalization and the internet and social media. And maybe in the past, people could get away with stealing other people's ideas or just changing a few things here or there, or just like copying the exact same thing and pasting it. And right now, you see cases like, Michael Soe. I don't know if you're aware of Michael Soe. He's a painter, designer in Kenya. He does all of these different paintings of like interracial people, like a black and white woman, or like big boobs on the African, and like, I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So he also does bags, and just the other day, some lady in Berlin was selling Michael Soe bags. I mean, she literally printed exactly
Yes,
what he
yeah.
did, and just like it was horrible quality. And one girl who happened to be in the store discovered it. She's Kenyan, and she's like, "That looks like my friend's bag." And she went on and she checked the label, and it was a different label. The quality was different. Sent
Yeah.
it to Michael, and before you know it, you have like 1,000 people on Instagram
True.
like attacking this lady, and she had to pull down the post, the pictures, and just like blocked people,
Yeah.
deleted comments. Even just this mall that has been recently built by
Yes.
the Amara.
Yes.
You see those colorful pictures, the images of the guy, like creatives
Same
in
thing.
different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was beautiful until about a week after the mall was launched. I hear that they stole those images
yeah.
from a
I was
Nigerian
actually there
artist.
over the weekend. I saw the print.
Really?
Wall, yeah.
It was stolen from a Nigerian artist, and I'm just
Yes.
like, wow, you cannot hide these days because people
can't.
take videos if
Yes.
something's gorgeous and it's gonna spread.
And it's actually a big thing because when I develop something,
Yeah.
then you go and pass it off as your own. And
Yeah.
then the quality
Yes.
does not match.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes my sales go down.
Of course.
It makes my reach go down.
Of course. Even
And
the
it makes
reputation,
people
really.
criticize me
Of course.
over things I did not do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that is why it makes sense to protect everything you come up with. Trademark that
Yeah.
that business idea you have.
And so, like, how